Hello everybody, this is Style with Lori and I am here today to talk to you about LimeLight by Alcone's eyeshadows. So I'm going to go ahead and do my daily eyeshadow routine. It's my favorite color group that I put on every day. I already have my botanical foundation on, my highlighter, bronzer, and blush on, and everything is ready to go for my shadows. So I grab my favorite large shadow brush and I go into my palette. This is a single eyeshadow palette. If you want to take it out, you just use your finger and just pop that out, and you can put it in a larger palette to customize. This is what it looks like when you get a single. This is my favorite all over the lid color called Cream Boat, and it's the lightest shade that we have. It's a matte color, and look, I just put it in there one time on both sides for both eyes, and I do one side for one eye, and I go above the lid all the way up to the brow. And then I go over here. It just sweeps it so nicely. I love this brush. Be sure and get into the corners here to give some highlight to the corners of your eyes. And then I will go into my 6 well palette that I've customized. This just shows you where you can stick a pin in there and pop those colors out if you run out or want to change it up. And I go into Pineapple of My Eye, which is a yellow color. This lighting is a little, there you go. It looks really dark, but it's really not so much. So I put that on the first third of my eyelid from the corner to almost to the halfway point. It's kind of a light golden yellow. We have a shimmery gold yellow called Peachy Gleam that sometimes I put that on too to give it some more shimmer, but this is a matte and I kind of like the matte look. And then I'm going to go in my 4 well palette because it has Coral of the Story, which is a favorite I've been using lately. Coral of the Story, kind of a coral obviously, and I will just do one side and tap it off because these colors are 50% pigmented, and I put it on the center of my eyelid. I can even go to the corner over here too, but dip back in and tap it and go to my other eye, the center of my eye. Nice color, isn't it? Really pretty. Excuse me. These are 50% pigmented, so a little goes a long way. And now I'm going to go take another eyeshadow brush we have is this tapered or angled brush. I guess angled brush more likely. And I like to stick it into one of our browns. Our darker of these two, we have some taupey ones. The darker of the two I think is Taupe for the Best. I'm not sure the color name. So I go in there, tap it, and I just take the pointed part and put it into the corner. Over here, you don't want to go past the corner of your eye. So first, I just like to kind of place it there and make a line. I can even go over a little bit more. Start in and then you can go out. That's where I don't want to go past. So then I'll stick the longer end of my brush into the crease, and I windshield wiper it like this, back and forth, and then I'll slide my brush over. I don't usually go past the pupil of my eye. Sometimes I go a little bit past it with the crease color. That is good. I go back into there, tap it off, do the same thing over here. Don't want to go past that line, and then I place it down in there and windshield wiper it again. Sometimes I want to frown a little bit. See how it lowers my upper lid? And then I can see that, oh, I might want some color there as well. I'm not always smiling. Okay, so there's that color, and now I go into my 4 well because I want to pick up this Antique Bar, which is one of our best-selling shadows. It has that sheen to it. It's hard to get the colors on here to show up, and I'm going to put my brush in there, tap it, and I'm going to go lightly kind of to the corner of my eyelid and sweep it just to bring a little bit here, and then I sweep it in the crease. I love this color. It has that little bit of a sheen to it. It's a warm color. It's beautiful. It goes really well with the coral of the story, and just I like to blend it with that brown. So I went back in and tapped it again. I'm going to go to the corner a little to add some to my lid, and then I'm going to go in the crease. It's a little dark, but I have a secret tool for that. Okay, now my tool is this buffer brush. It is short and squatty, and the shorter the brushes, the tighter they are, the more direct they are. So I'm going to do tiny circles, and this is just blending all the colors together. I go on my lid kind of first, and then I go up to the crease color, and it just kind of softens it all and blends it into that cream boat that I had put on first that was up there. So look at the difference between the eyes. This one's blended, this one's not. It really lightens it up and makes it softer over here. So I'm going back over the lid first and buffering it. Tiny circles. There you go. Next, I like to take my large shadow brush again and go back to that first color, Cream Boat, and just put a little bit on kind of the tip. Whoa, these are 50% pigmented. They go a long ways. And I kind of go back first up here and taper it into the crease color a little, just kind of blending and going back through if I made a mistake, and then I kind of go under here to make sure there's not any color that down that far, dark colors. And then I'm going to go back and do the same over here, and I don't know if you can tell, it just kind of softened the edge a little bit more. But I always start up here because it has the most amount of color. I don't want to just put a bunch of that off-white shadow, just dab it on first. I want to softly add it to it, and then I always kind of go back over the corner again. There's that. Okay, and next with my shadows, I like to use one for my eyeliner. So I have this angled eyeliner brush, super sweet, and I go into my 6-well palette because it has this dark brown, and that's called Brownie Points, and I just kind of go back and forth a few times, tap it off, and then I usually start kind of at the end or the middle of the end of my left eye and the middle of my right eye. It's kind of funny. I kind of make a little bit of a wing. I just brush it back and forth because I kind of want it to be soft. Our best-selling eyeliner is black, and it has an amazing felt tip pen. It's smudge proof. It's amazing. It's one of our best-selling products. I just have never worn black because I'm naturally a blonde. Gotten a little darker, so now I help the blonde a little bit. There. Now I'll go back in for the other eye. And like I said, I always start in the middle on this side. And then I kind of go out and wing it up a little, just a little bit. I also like to smudge. Since I use this brush, it makes a nice line, and it's really easy. I'd never used this pointed of a brush before for my liner, but it's really easy to use, y'all. And since you're using a powder or a shadow, it's forgiving. With our felt tip eyeliner pen, I'm a little more nervous with that. Even though I've done it, it's pretty easy too. I've been able to use it. I was so scared because of it being a pen and smudge proof and everything. So there you go. So that's my eyeliner. And then I like to take our smudge eyeliner brush. Again, it's tight, but it's got a tapered tip. And I like to kind of smudge it a little bit. It just softens that look. I don't want to take my liner off necessarily. I just kind of go over it. Kind of softens it, see, compared to that. And that looks pretty just like that too. But I like a more softer look. I've always kind of been that way. You know how you get into we wear the same colors and style of shadows and everything. And with LimeLight, I'd never worn highlighter and bronzer, and I'm really loving those. It just makes my face have a glow. Okay, what do you think? Next shadow, I don't want to forget. My last thing I do with my eyeshadows, I take this eye tamer brush. It has this tapered flat end brush, and then it's got this mascara wand brush. So I have this kind of wild eyebrows. Not too bad now. I've plucked them. I need to pluck them a little bit. Don't look too closely. I need to touch them up again. But I go into my 6Well and I go to the lightest taupe color. This may be taupe for the best. I wish I had them out for you, but I can, if you want to know the colors, message me after this and I'll let you know. So here we go. I just put some on there and tapped it off. I start with the thickest part of my eyebrow because that's the darkest part of the color first. It's going to be the darkest, right? Because I just got it off my palette, so I don't want to go dark in they're kind of blondish, and some of them are white and they're long. So I've been trimming them and plucking them. It's not fun, but it's okay. I'm glad I have eyebrows. I'm tapping them off. Now I have a bald spot over here, so I had to fill that first. I got bit by a dog when I was little and have a scar. This one I need to trim. I need to clean up a little bit, so I'm going to have to do that later. But so I just tap a little bit of color, especially over here because they're so light. And then I'm going to brush them up and then down, and that kind of moves the color around too. And down, and that makes a huge difference. Eyebrows kind of frame your eyes, and you don't want them to be 100% identical like mine. This one's a little lower, and it's just the way God made me. So there's my eyeshadow for you. What do you think? Let me know if you have any questions, if you'd like to know the names of all the colors I've used, if you'd like to be connected with me with my LimeLight by Alcone website. I have my information on this YouTube page, so go there and check it out and ask me any question you have. Thank you guys for watching. Have an awesome day.